So one South Korean who chose not to vote was the jailed former president Park Geun-hye. This now marks the end of her era and a real hope as well that it will bring an end to an era of privilege and corruption. It was back in March that Park became the first South Korean president to be removed from power by impeachment. She was accused of allowing her close friend here, Choi Soon-sil, to extort money from companies, including big companies like Samsung, in return for political favors. Choi and Samsung's acting head, Jae Lee, who was also implicated, are being held in the same detention center as Park, but they're being tried separately. Park herself will stand trial on charges of bribery and abuse of power. So let's speak to Haeryun Kang, who's the managing editor of Korea Exposé. She's in Seoul, joining us via Skype. Thank you for your time. You know, nothing changes just with a turn of a page and with one vote like that. But do you feel that this is a pivotal moment for South Korea and that it can really turn the corner?
I'm not really sure if what you mean by turning the corner, but it certainly is a pivotal political moment. This entire political corruption scandal with Park Geun-hye and Choi Soon-sil has been a turning point in that the conservatives who've ruled for the past two administrations, so nearly a decade, they've splintered into three parties in the aftermath of this scandal. And most of the leading contenders in this presidential race were those who identified as liberals. And so a lot of people thought that they thought that this administration change from conservative to liberal could signal something of a change in South Korea's political environment. But we don't really know what's actually going to happen.
Yeah, I guess that was what I did mean by turn the corner. The issues of corruption and bribery and scandals and all of this. I mean, look, it's politics. It happens anywhere in the world. But it just seems, as you've pointed out, that it's been going on for too long and people are sick of it.
Right. I mean, but even that, political corruption is so rife in South Korean society among liberals and conservatives. The biggest catchphrase in this presidential election has been getting rid of 적폐, which is years of piled up corruption and opaqueness in the political arena. This applies to both the liberals and the conservatives. So this is a structural, cultural problem. So will the liberals...
Tell me what you think about Mr. Moon's. I mean, we don't know. I wonder if we know enough about him to know how he's going to perform on the international stage. But certainly for our international audience, we think about North Korea. That is the biggest issue facing South Korea at the moment. How do you think he will perform on that international stage? What does he have to do?
Well, I mean, as you've mentioned before, Moon's stance towards North Korea is generally softer than his conservative predecessor, Park Geun-hye. And this is pretty tricky in terms of negotiating with Donald Trump. Donald Trump in general is pretty unpredictable of where he stands with North Korea, but his rhetoric has been pretty hardline. And it contrasts with Moon's stance, and he wants more engagement, more cooperation with North Korea. How he's going to balance his North Korea policies with Donald Trump, it's not quite clear.
Never is it? Haeryun Kang, thank you so much for your time. Do appreciate your thoughts on this.
Could you hear me, Tracy?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Sarah with us now. Type of story built for